The Philippines shares with other nations of the developing world the visible pressure of population growth. Industrialization and a top layer of commercial modernism have made its cities like cities everywhere. Large, loud, crowded, with people and vehicles contending for the same inadequate allocation of space and natural resources. There are, moreover, special characteristics in this land to explain the magnitude of its recent growth. It seems a land of the very young. Almost 45% of all Filipinos are under 15 years of age. Family ties are unusually strong, and even in the worst of circumstances, it is hard for a Filipino to avoid regarding a large family as somehow better than a small one. It is a nation of devoutly religious people, where the Catholic Church, in its most traditional pro-natalist form, has broad influence. Still, within this unlikely atmosphere have grown up a diversity of population efforts. One of them, employing the very strengths of the society, love of family and home, in furtherance of population goals, is that of the indigenous church called Inglesia ni Cristo. One of its ministers explains the rationale behind the program.
The Church of Christ, or Inglesia ni Cristo, is aware of the fact that there is a tremendous growth of population. As administrators of the church, we are most concerned and interested in the welfare of the poor elements of the church, because our concern is not simply to look into the spiritual welfare of the members, but also after the material aspect of life. Every family is responsible for the future welfare of the children. We have explained to them the benefits of family planning, and we really were satisfied with the tremendous response among the members.
This is the church in Catanduanes, an island off the coast of Luzon, where a population of farmers and fishermen live the most modest of lives and offer an unusual laboratory for the program of this distinctively Filipino church. Founded in 1914, it has had an almost phenomenal growth, not only in the Philippines, but in other areas of Asia, Europe, and North America. It is notable principally for its strong concern for social amelioration, its cohesiveness, and the discipline of its members.
Mga kapatid, sa panahong ito ay sinusugpo ang pagdami ng tao sapagkat
The Inglesia ni Cristo began a forthright family planning campaign in 1973, and within 3 years had enlisted some 280,000 users. Family planning became the theme of sermons in churches throughout the country. Thus, the church made family planning, in one step, not only acceptable to Christian doctrine, but the keystone of a broad program of social betterment. The Inglesia ni Cristo is an already existing delivery system for family planning services. There are such local structures in every country. They are ready to be imaginatively used to expand the population effort. The newest and most spectacularly successful element of the family planning program is the sterilization campaign, in which mobile teams fan out from Manila through parishes all over the country. It is a markedly informal project, responding on short notice to appeals from whatever church has assembled a large enough number of candidates who have made their voluntary decision for sterilization. Informality aside, it is also a thoroughly scientific program. Instruments, gloves, drapes, and all other needed materials are packed for field use with sterilization procedures as precise as though the work were to be done in the headquarters clinic. In this case, the mobile team of doctors, nurses, and general assistants travels by van to the coast, thence by ferry to the island from which this newest appeal has come. Here, as in most rural regions, they will make their base in the church compound. The arrival of the mobile team van is an occasion for cheerful interest on the part of the whole community, not only the male candidates for vasectomy, but their women and children. Here they will use the administrative office of the church as an operating room. Such arrangements lend themselves to vasectomy procedures. Tubal ligations, which are growing in popularity among women of the church community, require a more medically sophisticated setting. Every effort is made to bring women who want mini-laparotomies, the most common sterilization operation for women, to the nearest available health center.
Be sure you don't contaminate the sterile ones with the unsterile ones.
A climate of acceptance has already been established. This is the third visit of the sterilization team, and the satisfied customers have been the strongest motivators.
Don't forget the
There is a high degree of mutual support among the brothers and sisters, as they are known to each other, for the sterilization procedure.
apat. Oh, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Nandito po tayo ngayon para lecturean kayo tungkol sa ating sterilization. Yung sterilization natin, hindi para lang sa lalaki, kung hindi maging mga babae man.
Dr. Carolina Gabriel, who with her husband Melanio administers the program for the Inglesia ni Cristo, will be the surgeon today.
Bago natin umpisahan,
Before the first operation, there will be a talk explaining exactly what vasectomy is and is not, and what the patient may expect in the course of the operation and subsequent to it.
ha? Kasi pag sinabing pupugutan o
The atmosphere is visibly informal, even jocular. In its way, the church is an extended family. Even such serious considerations as a vasectomy are treated in simple familial terms. The doctor knows that the men have chosen to have this operation voluntarily, but she is anxious that they not have any doubts as to its nature, its permanence, and its potential effect upon their future lives.
Kapag nahinog, yon ay umaakyat. Ha? Pumupunta doon sa pinaka-reservoir. Anong reservoir? Bodega. Okay. So you know, bodega. Yung bodega...
In country Tagalog, with pepperings of Spanish and English, she explains the male reproductive system in terms her listeners will recognize.
Nararamdaman nyo, mabigat dito.
She confronts the most common fear, that vasectomy is a form of emasculation, by assuring them that it will not interfere in any way with their sex life, nor diminish their virility.
Pag puno na yung bodega...
Fishermen and farmers respond comfortably to her earthy explanations. They are close to nature and accustomed to calling things by their natural names.
Pag lumabas yan, dito rin yan dadaan. Naintindihan nyo? Alin ang naputol? Ito ba? Hindi ko gagalawin yan eh. Kahit na magpa-opera ka, hindi ko gagalawin yan. Itatago ko pa yan kasi tatakot ako dyan. Ganon din dito. At saka, isa pa, kung yung pinaka-sperm...
There is much serious talk about the importance of informed consent, and the Iglesia ni Cristo has been punctilious in its demand that its people be fully informed and positively consenting. They may be humanly apprehensive about it, as about any surgery, but the breeziness of the presentation is reassuring. This is no official demand upon them with the weight of government orders behind it. They have no reason to fear authority. The church is their family, which brings them all together, and they are convinced of its concern for their well-being.
Yung protein nagbibigay lakas sa atin, di ba? Ganon po yon. Dalawa dito. One here and one here.
A vasectomy is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. Normally, the only discomfort is related to the injection, which numbs the operating area, and that is minor. The patient will have a few days of soreness and diminished activity. Then, after an interval of contraceptive protection to ensure that all remaining sperm have been expelled and he is certain to be sterile, he and his wife are free to resume full relationship without any fear of unwanted pregnancy. The men of these islands are wholly masculine by nature and by cultural tradition. They have worked hard since childhood, and most of them expect to work hard as long as they live. They are comparatively poor people, as rice farmers and fishermen and their families are likely to be the world over. The Inglesia ni Cristo has given them something of value, a perception of brotherhood among themselves and of kinship with men and women on other islands and other continents. Armed with this sense of security and responsibility, more than 14,000 men and women have chosen surgical contraception in the 3 years of the program. In a country where sterilization was once thought wholly unacceptable, this is a remarkable record. Because they are islanders, they know that they are already enjoying the fruits of all the land they will ever have. Their boundary on all sides is the sea. But then, we all are dwellers on an island in a sea of space, whose resources are finite and fast diminishing. Indeed, we are all islanders.